this would not have been a celebration today. Let's show them how much we appreciate what they did. Let's begin with the President of our Senate, Mike Thibodeau. I'll ask our Speaker Marquise to follow. The Senate Democratic Leader, Justin Alfon, followed by Ken Fredette, the House Republican Leader, and would have John Butera, the Senior Advisor, and we all know him for his economic background, to finish up, and then I'll come back to you. Thank you.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, every day should be business day at the State House. It's so important that each and every one of you have come here today to share with the legislators here the importance of the decisions that we make and how it affects our small business. And we need to hear that. We need to understand how these decisions affect our small business. Now, yesterday was indeed a great day for Maine taxpayers. And I am exceptionally pleased that we were able to come together in a bipartisan effort and pass this all-important tax conformity bill and provide additional funding to our local schools. So I am so excited about that. That doesn't happen without hard work. You know, a lot of folks back home think that we all fly off to Washington, D.C. and hang out with Olympia, Susan, Jock, whoever it is at the time. The fact of the matter is we come here to the State House and we work really hard to make sure that we make Maine not only the best place in the world to live, but we want to make sure that Maine is the best place in the world to earn a living. And I think that everybody here at the State House recognizes we have significant challenges, but I also believe that by working together, we can improve Maine's economy. So your voice today is exceptionally important. We appreciate you coming, sharing with us your views, your points of views, trying to convince us in so many policy areas what is the best direction for our state so that not the state government, but you can grow Maine's economy. So thank you for coming. I look forward to talking and visiting with you. Thanks, Jim.
Everybody here today. I always love following President Thibodeau. He always gives me some material to work with. And, you know, the tax conformity and education funding, but for your participation and a lot of people's participation around the state would not have happened. I'm glad it happened yesterday and not next week. We would have been having a different conversation. I had full faith that we were going to get to yes. It took a little while to get there. Thank you for your patience in that. Because of that, I think we got a better product. And the fact that the tax conformity and the education funding have everything to do with our economy, I think it is a great day to celebrate. I get to go back to my community and reminded of the big employers like Pratt & Whitney and Hussey Seating, and the small mom and pop shops that fill the storefronts. And I think of the impact of all of them. And I pass my kid to school, where my 5th, 3rd, and 1st grader go, and I think about what we did yesterday and what it means to them, the teachers and all the parents that pick their kids up at 3 o'clock at that elementary school. So I just want to say thank you. You are drivers in our economy. We do this together. You help us stay at the table with one another. And I want to thank all the leaders that helped get that done yesterday. Without that, it wouldn't have happened. And just really appreciate everybody's patience in this room. You help us do our jobs better, and thank you for that.
And it is a pleasure to be here at Business Day. It is a wonderful day when so many small and large businesses are here. And let me just say this, you have great people working for you. Dana, Linda, Ben, Peter. These guys are working every single day on your behalf, and they work with the caucuses, they answer questions, they come in and lobby, they do everything that you would expect an effective team to do. So I just want to have a round of applause to the state chamber. For those of you that can hear us and are paying attention, there's lots of you that wonder why we fight for the middle class. Well, it's kind of easy, and a lot of you are in business. It's kind of the demand side of business. When there's more money in people's pockets, including the middle class, then there are more purchases made at your small businesses, the economy gets better, and you might be able to hire some more people or give better wages. It's very, very simple. Everyone tries to make this complicated thing about it. We want a stronger middle class so the economy of Maine can be Sofsky's bill. We are a state of small businesses, but he's trying to attract large businesses to also be here. LD 1480 can do that, and it's sitting up in the Senate chamber, and we need to pass this. This will be able to attract and sustain businesses of over 250 employees that want to invest at least $50 million in the state of Maine. I want to have some of those businesses coming to Maine too. Do you? All right. Well, LD 1480, please work on it. It's a good bill. It's something that I believe both sides have already supported and sent to the committee. We need to get it to the governor's desk so we can send a message to the rest of the country that we want large businesses to stay here and come here. Thank you.
Good morning, and I want to take a special moment to recognize the people from the Sebesticook Valley Chamber of Commerce, those folks that are from Central Maine. And really what I want to recognize here in regards to the Chamber is the role that the Chamber plays in our small communities. People that are companies that have 1, 2, 3, or maybe a half dozen people working for them. The Chamber is the voice for those small businesses that don't have time to come down here and testify before committees. And I want to thank Dana and I want to thank the Chamber for the work that they did in terms of advocating for conformity. I think they played an important role in passing that. And so I really want to recognize the role that they did there, but also our small chambers that represent our small businesses in Maine, which are really the backbone of people in Maine, particularly in rural Maine. And I also want to piggyback on Senator Alphonse's comments in regards to the work that we do together. I want to recognize the work that we did yesterday as leaders, all working together, and the leadership that they provided. We did that together. And I want to just close by saying one other thing, which again I think is important to small businesses. Last year when we passed the budget, we were able to do a tax cut package which focused on the middle class. And again, not only did it focus on the middle class, but it also reduced taxes for those small businesses that filed Schedule C businesses. And so we were able to lower those taxes, put more money in people's pockets because of that income tax reduction package. And so again, I want to thank the leaders for their work and their leadership on reducing taxes in Maine. We want to continue to do that. We want to continue to provide an opportunity for Maine. I'll tell you one last story before I leave. You know, I grew up in Washington County, Maine. My mother and father, they had 4 brothers. And I'll tell you, back in 1980, they all left the state of Maine because they did not have an economic opportunity to stay in Maine. And that's the true reality that many of our people in rural Maine face, is the opportunity to provide a reasonable living for themselves and for their family. And if they don't do that, many times we're going to lose those people to New Hampshire, Massachusetts, and other places away. And so that's what I try to do here, is to focus on how can we keep educating and provide a good working environment for our people in rural Maine and southern Maine as well. Thank you, and everybody have a great day.
I just also want to piggyback on, I think, what a lot of our leaders have said. Particularly, Representative Fredette mentioned the local chambers. You have a great umbrella organization in the state chamber that does great things, like Senator Alphonse noted. But the local chambers, they're the boots on the ground. They're the folks in our communities. They're the ones dealing with the small businesses. I see a lot of folks here, Teresa Fowler, Craig Pendleton, Corey King. These are great people working very hard in your communities with all of our businesses, the small businesses, the large businesses. And they're the ones that I think we need to support and help and make sure that they have all the tools they need to help their constituents and their stakeholders grow. We talked about the businesses that are here, but I also want to send a shout out to the 45,000 businesses that are in Maine that aren't here. They're out there every day putting it on the line, trying very, very hard to do several things, to create opportunities in their communities, to make their communities a better place to live. They're also trying to make money. At the end of the day, businesses need to make money, and we need to be cognizant of that in this building. So we need to create a competitive environment that helps them succeed, both from a cost structure and from a regulatory structure. Because at the end of the day, if businesses aren't successful, they're not going to be able to create the wealth and the money that flows through our economy that we need for all the other things to do here in government, such as education, healthcare. So again, the small business is the backbone of our state, and we really need to make sure we have all the tools in place to help them. Once we create that demand in the business community, there's another very important part of the equation. And I think and we just don't have enough people. To grow an economy, you need people. So I would hope all of us, both in the legislature, administration, and in the local communities and the chambers, try to come up with sound tactical strategies to get more people to Maine. I know Senator Alfond just sponsored several bills that are dealing with the student debt issue. That's critical. If we can give our Maine a competitive advantage in attracting new, young workforce to Maine, that's just going to put us in a much better position. So there's a lot of pieces to the puzzle, and with the state chamber and the local chambers working together with the administration and the legislature, I think we can work towards a formula that really creates the demand side from the business community and gives the supply side on the workforce. So again, I want to thank the chamber again, and most of all, I want to thank the 45,000 businesses out there that work very, very hard to do what's most critical to all of us, grow our economy and make Maine prosperous. Thank you.